Months ago, I walked away from this farm, and the job wasn't finished. We're on hard economy. We're trying to play as real as possible with no shortcuts. Well, we broke some of those rules along the way, and we set too many rules along the way as well. We wanted to have a realistic playthrough, and I made some rules that just didn't make sense. But we have $3 million in debt. 2.7 at this point. We paid off almost 300,000 of it, and we're in year 3. Well, some of the things that I kind of made a rule on was we couldn't sell buildings and things just to get out of debt. And the reality is, that might make sense. That might make sense because, like, we come over here, we got all these resources, and we actually can see the robot in action over here. But we're not making money off of these cows, or we're not making enough compared to the effort that we're putting into for cutting alfalfa. And we can't make a ton of money off of alfalfa on hard economy here. So we're gonna do some things that are a little bit different than what we did originally. We're getting rid of the cows. We're getting rid of the cows. We got rid of the goats, or maybe, yeah, no, they were sheep earlier. I think we're gonna keep the chickens. The chickens are definitely needed. But I think we can solve the cow issue later on. We've got to get the harvester going. We've got a harvest to do. And we just got to make some money. We got to, suck it up. We created this playthrough for a reason. And actually, what just happened there? I actually love the concept of the playthrough. I just made too many rules, guys, and that burnt me out. So the first thing we're going to have to do is locate our header. I think it's over here. And there's a tornado in the forecast. We've got to find this header and get going. Which typically means there's a storm in the forecast too. So, you don't just have tornadoes on their own. They typically come with a storm. There's the header. Okay. We've located her. We have low fuel as well. Which oh boy, guys. I think we do have we should have crop destruction on. Yeah, we're just gonna have to lose a little bit here because of our mistake. Yep. Playing back into the realism here. Just gonna destroy a little bit of our crop. And we'll have to be a little bit more careful about where that goes long term. So let's see if we can sneak. Yeah, we're good. Okay. One of the things you guys taught me was, driving across the street like this, not going to be an issue. So we will get it turned on now. Come in here. We got some oats going on here in July. Can absolutely do the straw. But let's go ahead and get a course enabled here because we are going to use the course play GPS. And I love it. I love it. We're going to do 2 headlands. We're going to set this up on lands. That's what we want. And let's go ahead and get that generated. It is field 4. We might have had a course saved already, but we will double check that once the game crashes. Nope. It's going to get through it. It's going to get through it. All right. So let's create a folder. We'll call it 4. And then we'll save the course. There we go. As harvest, and I'm going to put grain header. All right. So now I should be able to hit Control Shift G, and I'm locked in, and we're locked in. We get comments about this course play menu up here. You just grab it and drag it wherever you want. I like it up there. So we can close this one. Work on this yield here. We did oats. I need to double check and get reacquainted. We have $68,000 right now because we did have our loans come out. The salad, the lettuce and the eggs, we probably need to sell. That is one of the rules here. If it can go bad, we're selling it the month that we need to, or the month that we need to, the month that we're in. So if we have them, we got to sell them. So that's the plan. And the harvest looking good here. 20% full. Oats don't yield the best, but we have a huge hopper. I imagine we're going to get close to around this entire field. And then we can get the grain cart out At some point, we got to, not the grain cart, I think we have just the semi. We're going to need to get some grain carts eventually, but we will be selling some animals. And I don't believe we have... I'm struggling with something because I feel like realistically we would want to deliver those cows ourselves, but the game also adds that fee in there where it would just deduct the money from us for someone else picking them up. So I guess that would be realistic enough. But $68,000, we got plenty of, you know, we could probably look at time-saving stock check while we're just cruising here. And we do have another field number 7, that is ready for harvest as well. And we gotta get busy here. But let's take a look at time-saving stock check, because we got some planks and stuff that we can sell. But we can let those build up. We have enough money for our payment of $17,000, almost $18,000. And once we sell the cows, we can also sell all the extra dry alfalfa, the extra hay, a little bit of money coming in there. We have $4,000 worth of lettuce right now. Eggs, we have about $2,200, and milk, not much. Like, we just weren't making much money off of milk. We don't have a lot of cattle. And at this point of I'm just going to call it my farming sim career or journey, I'm overdoing grass work. I'm overdoing grass and alfalfa work. I need a break from that. So that is part of the motivation. I think what I am learning is the type of farmer I would be if I ran a farm would be a crop farmer, or, you know, arable fields. I always say that wrong. And that's what we're going to do. And the other thing we kind of talked about, like, I made too many rules. Realistically, if I was in this much debt and I took over this farm, I would scale down to the minimum things that we need. In animals, if they're not bringing us in a ton of money, because let's be honest, I need a better mod. We need a better plan around everything with the cattle to make more money off of them, and we just haven't. And after 2.5 years of running this farm, I've come to the conclusion that we're not ready. If we don't have debt and we can actually spend our money that we're earning on expanding that operation, I think it would make more sense to spend our money on livestock. But right now, it just doesn't make sense to me. The chickens are so low maintenance. We've talked about that. We'll have to, I think the other field is going to be enough to, or a crop that will give us some feed for the chickens. Being that it's July and ready, I'm assuming that's probably wheat out there. But this is looking pretty good. We're almost, you know, what, about halfway around the headland, and we're going to be stopping here to unload. 99% full and 100 auto stop in there. Love it. And the other thing that you know, going realistic is fine, but we're simulating a month. And we have a lot of things to get through in a month. So I think we're going to just ask for forgiveness on tabbing. I think that was a little overkill as well. And just, you know, a playthrough that I find to be fun had some issues with it that I set up to make it not fun. And that's what we're kind of fixing here. So we could dump the rest of that wheat. That's good. But, you know, the harvests are the top priority for me right now. So I want to make a road right here too, probably eventually. Lots of rambling, guys. Lots of rambling to start this. I'm excited to be back in Starbuck, Minnesota. And getting to this oat harvest. And eventually... Whoops, I thought we were at the field already. Getting to the other harvest here in July. Lots of money to be made. You know, one of those fields is a lease field. This one we do own. And then probably in August we'll want to set up, or we could soon actually, get a worker going, running the course to do the straw, to bale the straw for us. You know, on hard economy, it's not a ton of money. It's not a ton of money, but it's better than nothing. And that's where we're at. So we're going to keep going here, get this unloaded. I'll probably do, I don't know, both the headlands before I hand it over to a worker. And I might, instead of having a worker do the straw, I might just do the baling on that. And then I can keep an eye on when we need to unload. Big field. This is our biggest field. It is 37 acres. Oh, 33 acres of field, 37 acres of complete land there. So this is the one that should make us the most money, and we'll be looking at crop rotation and seeing, you know, what would be the best to next time around, because right now we are getting about 120% crop rotation bonus, between 120 to 125 because we have oats in here. So we'll see what we can do next year for that, whether that's plant something here in season right now in the fall coming up, or if we're going to wait all the way till spring to plant another crop. But let's go, keep going. Let's get these headlands done. And going to unload them again. 14,000 liters in here now. We're going to have another 14,000. You know, the prices of oats, they're not amazing. We'll take a peek at that while we're unloading too, to kind of get an idea of what we're making per load of the harvester. But one of the things I did want to mention, and we're putting a pause. I might just not do it anymore, is the AI Replace Me series. I wasn't a fan of it, guys. I liked the way it started, and it told a story for the first year. I wasn't a fan of where it was going, and it was just a drag to record, to be completely honest. Yeah. So every time we do grass work, I feel like it burns me out. So that's kind of where I am, like I said, in my career here of FS. It's not to harp on that for too long, but let's go ahead and take a look at prices. And oats are going to be, you know, they're going to peak at 618 in December. You know, roughly about 8,600. About 8,600 per harvester. So we got about, you know, $17,000. Not 17. Yeah, about $17,000 from these first two harvesters. There's a lot more oats out there, but hard economy's hard, guys, and I do want to see this through for one playthrough for sure. We're going to get out of debt. We're going to then restore this farm to being, you know, a livestock farm, and maybe it'll be bigger than it ever was when we get it in a better state. But $3 million debt, you're going to make some different decisions than we've been making based on the rules set that we set for ourselves. So let's keep it going. I'll get the second headland done. Probably jump a little bit ahead for you guys at this point. And yeah, and we will probably be getting rid of those cows pretty soon. And this is really another thing that really drove me nuts about this playthrough, is how slow this is in the field. So eventually, you know, maybe with some of the money we make, we can look into, and I need to double check. I'm just assuming we don't have a grain cart. It's insane. And we'll check the horsepower on this thing, but not being able to drive in the fields, I don't feel like this is realistic. I don't feel like it's realistic for how slow you have to go on turns like that. And maybe it is. Maybe we are underpowered here. Just complaining to complain at this point, guys. You know, ideally we could keep the semi on the streets, because it does seem to have, you know, better traction that way, and have an auger wagon unloading into it. But you can see right now we're gonna go uphill. And it's making decent speed. And we'll unload them as much as we can finishing this pass here, but the second I slow down a little bit, it just seems to struggle. And it's making a liar out of me right now, but there we go, yeah. Up the hill. Not bad. Okay, we'll shut up. Just gotta be patient. We will be using Simple Inspector to keep an eye on the harvester at this point. Kind of like our command center, that we can keep an eye on all of our tractors and harvesters and see exactly what they're doing. But we're going to drop off this current amount of oats to our silo. And based on what I said earlier, yeah, we're getting rid of the cattle. We're not going to need the alfalfa anymore. We're going to have to figure something else for that small field. It might be one that we sell. That might be the best option for field 2 since it's so small. It's just not even worth our effort to seed it and plant in it, fertilize it with the low returns on the hard economy. Yeah, I think it might be best just to part ways with that. That field specifically, as you know, we're getting the benefits from these bigger fields than we are from smaller fields, so that's something I'm thinking about. Pull a little bit farther forward, we should be able to empty the oats. And do we have distance height-wise? We do. Alright, let's just double check, see if we have anything else in the silo. It looks like we do have some beans. Are they sellable right now? They're on their way down. Peak was July. We missed that. So we will pull forward here, back up to the other side, and get those sold because they're not going to get any higher. And I don't want to wait a whole nother year to see that income. Boy, we almost messed up there, didn't we? Let's go ahead and tag it. We are going to the farmer's market. And they're definitely going to get full of oats by the time we get back. So we'll probably do one load of soybeans, go unload them, and drop it off here. Just kind of, it'll keep us busy, but they're definitely going to be waiting for us for a little bit. They're at 75% full already. But I don't think we can wait any longer to sell these. Plenty to do around the farm. While we kind of wait for that harvest to get done, we got plenty to keep us busy. All right, first bit getting sold here. You know, soybeans usually are kind of impressive, but we'll see what this looks like. And it should just be one more load that we have to bring here. But there is, yeah, about $70,000, $73,000. Which seems super low, but it is hard economy. Yeah, we're still here working on the headland. They just are basically finishing the second headland when they got full there. Oh, and they're going to want to drive. There we go. They should stop there now. Nope, they're going to... Oh, you're just going to have to stop later there, bud. All right. Ignore them driving in the oats. All right, finally got them unloaded. They're starting to do their lands, ups and downs here. So we'll have to back out so we don't damage any crops, and we'll drop this off, pick up the rest of the soybeans, get that sold. Probably come back and unload them. Start doing a little bit of our farm chores while we're waiting for this harvest. I might, and I'm debating, putting the semi onto auto drive, but we'll see. And the other load, or the last load of soybeans going into the farmer's market here. Another $43,000, so we're up to $185,000, which I believe, you know, we're not really concerned about the monthly payment because we can make that from the sawmill, I believe, now at this point every month. But we're not going to spend money like crazy until we absolutely know that there's certain things we want. I am going to go ahead and give this a shot and see. Yeah, I thought we had to get closer. don't think I completely configured all the roads and all of the turns and routes that we need on auto drive. But they're full already, so it might make sense for me to unload them real quick. And we're moving fast. You know, we still got it 59 minutes in this harvest. That storm is coming, and we've got to get as much done as possible in July. Man, that's rough, because we have 2 fields of sorghum to harvest as well, and those are going to be summer crops as well to harvest. I mean, you see me here. Why are you even trying to turn into me? Shouldn't you be blocked by an object? Boy. Give me a chance. All right, we got that all sorted out. Let's take a look here. There's a ton of feed in here. A ton of money that we spent. But yeah, I think it's time. I think it is time. We are going to just take the hit for the deliveries to get all of these cows sold. It looks like we did just have babies. They just don't make enough money, guys. And like I said, we'll get back to it. People might not like this, but this is what I want to do to make this playthrough enjoyable and be able to finish it. And we're done harping on that. All right, that is one less thing to worry about. But got our balance up to 205. And when we get access to the semi and be able to use this trailer again, we can get all this hay sold. No rush on that. We'll also probably take a look at prices and make sure they're peaking when we do that as well. But this is a piece of equipment we don't need. So let's head to the store, get as much money out of it as possible. Unless this thing can hold fuel, diesel, I don't think it can. That would be useful to be able to take it up to... Yeah, I don't think it can. Let's reload the harvester. Let's take a look just to double check that though. Nah, just milk and water and, you know, all the other liquids. Makes sense. But we could repair it. We're not going to repaint it. It's going to give us another $19,000. Again, just don't need it, and it would be realistic to sell that. And I know we worked really hard to get this equipment. It's just something we don't need as well. So let's go ahead and repair it and sell this piece. 14,000. That's pretty nice. And repair here, and we'll sell this one for 10,000. You know, not the most expensive pieces of equipment, but we're up to, you know, almost $250,000. The storm is here, guys. So they're gonna get unloaded. They're gonna wait for the storm to pass. Boy, I hope we don't lose too much time. But on to more equipment we don't need. The John Deere is on that one. Let's go ahead and grab the Tedder. We're not going to need it anymore. And I'm going to lazy man it and grab it on the front. We're role playing that we have a quick attach hooked up to our 3-point connectors. It'd be nice to actually get one in game. I don't know if there is. Now the rake, the windrower, I think we might keep. Though I don't think we can pull the straw rows any closer than they already are. And maybe we'll double check that before we sell it. But we're liquidating. If we don't need it, we're getting rid of it. When you're in a crisis financially and you want to get out of it, this is what you do. It's a $13,000 piece of equipment just sitting around. I would just be sitting around doing nothing. The K-Brand Knight feed mixer, it's going away as well. It's a $28,000 piece of equipment. All right, I'll take it. All right, we are going to pause them. And they're going to need refueled. So we're going to sneak up. Oh, oh. We're going to sneak out of the field. Let's lower our header. Get it all disconnected right there. And we're going to head in and get some diesel while we can. You know, it would be nice to have a tank, but we don't have that right now. I don't think we do. At the farm. So we're just gonna go to... I wish there was like a truck dealership, or a truck gas station, a truck diesel station, where we could actually fill this up. But we'll go to the one in town. All right, we'll cruise in here, fill her up. Or not. Did we have this problem before? Oh, we found a spot where it was working. There we go. $1,400. So we're done with the harvest, and we got the baling done as well. We'll look at the harvest numbers here momentarily, but look at all the straw. Just one field, guys. One field. Insane. Massive. So we did make a change. I do want to show that real quick. This is our new addition. We sold the trailer that was on the semi and got about $1,000 back too in the difference in buying this grain cart, and I think it's okay. The capacity is about 20,000 less, but we're able to get the job done a lot faster because we can actually drive this. So tired of complaining about it, decided to do something about it for once. So we're gonna put this away, and we're gonna get the goods from the sawmill, get those sold, get the goods from the chickens, get that sold, and the lettuce. Still a little bit more money to make today, and I think even though it won't reduce our minimum payment, we're gonna pay off some debt today. So we're cruising around here with 8,000 planks, 6,000 lettuce, 5,000 wood beams, 5,000 planks long, and 2,600 eggs. I feel like if this was normal or easy economy, we'd be so stoked with the amount of money we're about to make. It should still be a pretty good payday, guys. I'm hoping for about 30 right here. About 30,000 right here. Might be a little much, but I don't know. I don't know anymore. Let's see. Wow. Pleasantly surprised. We got over 50 right there. Cool. Like that's beyond a productive day. Our balance is sitting at $348,000. We've got to look at the value of the oats. We sold a bunch of soybeans today. We sold some cows. We sold some equipment. And we got probably about $60,000 worth of straw in front of us. And another, I don't know, 5,000 worth of hay right there. Probably not much more than that. We're going to wait for those prices to be absolutely perfect. Let's see. Yeah, it's getting late. We do have that wheat harvest. We're going to double check the calendar before we make any mistakes. So let's look at that. We could harvest our wheat in August. Perfect. So the sorghum is going to be good and ready in August, but we can do that in September as well. So just to kind of close the loop on some of those things, field 1, our biggest field, probably going to wait till September to get that harvested. Field 3 also is going to be ready, sorghum to be harvested, and field 7, big field up there as well of wheat. One thing I do want to do, we talked about it a little bit, we're also going to go ahead and sell this. It's going to be $162,000. We made like $500,000 today, and it, making decisions. We didn't really earn it. Well, we did. We earned it. These are decisions we should have made early on. I feel comfortable coming in here, doing a special redemption. We're going to throw 350 and it won't let me. Why? Why can't I throw 350? All right, let's go check the settings. Maybe we just save it, I guess. Advanced loan system. Maximum special repayment per year. No. No. We can go 100% on that. We are changing that. Boy, that's silly. That is silly. Let's go here. $350,000 special payment. Our debt is now $2.4 million. It's taken 18 episodes. We made a chunk of it. We got more to make, a lot more harvest to do, and I keep forgetting to show you guys. Let's look at time saving stock check. Oats, 220,000 liters of oats, gonna bring in $142,000 when prices peak in January. And we got a bunch of wheat to harvest and a bunch of sorghum to harvest. Thanks for hanging out on the resurrection of No Shortcuts. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you on the next one.